eBay Reseller. News now. Thank you, everybody. Hey, thanks, everybody, for joining us today. I'm glad you made it through the weekend. I hope you had an enjoyable weekend and got recharged for another week at the eBay, the machine, the cogs, the grind. We enjoyed our weekend, but mostly because somebody paid for their item this morning on Monday, which we're putting on to the June books, just so our June books look better. Thank you. And with that said, June turned out to be pretty good. I mean, considering May was so terrible, we well over doubled our income for June now. If you remember the number from May, though, doubling it isn't that great. So I think we probably more than I'd say we almost tripled it. But the idea was to, and we'll do some sort of cool breakdown, maybe visual. But it's now that I got 3 stores, it's very complicated. Can't do it. But this morning, the first thing I wanted to talk about was just how we're just such raw nerves. It's currently just raw nerves for the most part. And how last week we sold this awesome mask. So we bought the $15 mask. Shall we go look at that? Let's go look at it, everybody. Boom. There it is. So we went and bought the $15 mask so this weekend was, oh, sweetie, do you want to get the blue lady by chance? So every weekend we go out and we spend $100 with the intention of, which I made this challenge up to myself after we started doing it, where it seemed like I was actually already going to do it. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's make it a challenge, it's not really that hard. But surprisingly, it's not that hard. Spending $100, making $1,000. And so we've done it for 3 weekends in a row. This last weekend was pretty much a rain out. And I'll show you right now. We got this baby right here. If people know, this is Tetrikov, who's from Trechnikov, I should say. And he is 1950s. I think they sold these mostly at Sears and other places as framed art. It's what you might have at some point called junk art, but this baby's worth about $350. And so this was the whole of the weekend. Otherwise, it was just all rain. And so we had up here, we had rain, we had the cumulus Stradivarius coming down here. So, but anyway, Bolo alert. Also, Guru alert. Thank you. We got this is, be on the lookout for this crap. It's Tiki is what it is. Tiki. Be on the lookout for Tiki. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, back to the little story about how last week, so we sold this mask for, bought it for $15, bought it with the members got a much deeper dive into this. I think I showed it last week. We also got the Scream mask. It's called Ghostface. And we had that one for $5 and this one for $15. So $20 for the 2 masks. And then this one sold and was paid for. So that's the important part of the sale for $900. And if I take out my eBay Neophyte calculating machine, that has a 4 million % sell-through rate and about 1 billion % markup. From $15 to $900 is roughly 1 billion in math, because we just choose numbers and use them. Thank you. Okay, so now that I pointed that out, the stress was that. Go big. Thank you. The stress was that he didn't come through last week. So there was a lot of back and forth. It was $8.99, and then we sent an offer, and I had offers turned off, and then I jacked up the price to $2,000 so that somebody else wouldn't buy it because eBay has the offer system where he made me the $8.99 offer, but I wanted to give him a couple days to pay. eBay does not end that item. It now sits there and waits for it. And I guess he couldn't pay because then he kind of ghosted me on the ghoulie. Huh? Sweetie, pat my back. Yeah. Ghosted me on the ghoulie. Am I right? That's meta. So he ghosted us on the ghoulie, and then this morning, out of the blue, just boom, paid, done, next. Thank you. But all the work was done in the month of June and the finding, so I'm putting this number onto June so that June looks much better for me. So far, July sucks. Right, sweetie? Actually, no, we sold a whole bunch of stuff today, too. I'm just going to, our report on eBay currently is that we're doing it. And we're focusing the 3 stores. Everything seems to be rolling right. If I could guess, I think we're probably grossed out. We're like super gross at around $6,000 right now. Between the 3 stores and probably including our marketplace. But in May, all we did was eBay on the 2 stores, and even between them, that was the one that was really bad. Enough said. I won't talk about that anymore. And because it's news, I thought, hey, let's actually do some news, right? Am I right? Let's do that again. eBay reseller news now. Thank you. Sorry, I got to go back to the mask for one more thing. Blocking a buyer. So here's what happened. This is because we felt a little bit like, man, the guy didn't pay, see? And he ghosted us on the ghoulie, see? So what did I do? I went in there and I blocked him because that's my primary passive-aggressive thing. So I went in there and blocked him, but I unchecked the tick mark that says, which I usually have, which says block people can't contact you again. I unchecked that because, and then I had to think about, because now this guy has given me this $900 offer. I've turned down $500 offers. I've turned down $600 offers. I got to put the mask back out there. I don't want to be, I'm not really in a hurry, but yeah, I'm totally in a hurry. I need to have that clocked by the end of June. That was my whole goal. And the guy put through the offer this morning, and he's on my block list. But I did uncheck the thing that allows people who are blocked to contact me. So the question is, what does putting somebody on the block list do? And then what does the other tick mark do? Allowing them or disallowing them to contact you if they're on that block list. He was able to throw me an offer. I was able to accept that offer, and immediately I went, oh, snap. I ran over to the block list and unblocked him. It took about a half hour for that payment to come through, and I'm wondering if the contact thing allowed him to send me an offer, because he was on the full block list, and he was able to send me an offer. So I guess that's just how it works. It doesn't actually, I guess if he can contact you, he can send you an offer. I don't think this is super important, but it's something I've never thought about. Never really had this exact situation where I felt compelled to block somebody and then half unblock them. I think I jumped the gun in blocking him in the first place, but he did ghost me. So anyway, so he paid, and then I went and right after I sold it, I have to take him off the block list. I did it. The payment came through. Everyone's happy. So thank you, Serge from California, who paid $800 for that super rare Don Post mask that I got. So now I'm going to take a second to say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. WTF, I see Carl. I see Josh Galt was in here a little earlier. I see Mish Lachey Resells. Aloha. Thank you for stopping by. I see Paul Rose is here. Aloha. I see Cornhusker Picker. Mike Seller. Spam Banshee. I hear Pokey back there. I see Amy. Aloha, Amy. Jovial Juggler. Cautiously optimistic. Flipping ain't easy.
Flipping ain't easy.
John, are you our member? Because I know you gifted several people memberships to our membership. Are you a member of our channel? I wonder. You should go check out. He's not green. So he's not. He's not a member, but he's buying memberships for other people because he's a very generous, magnanimous person, and I thank him for that. Thank you. But the video we put in, it's not really a but. The video we put up this weekend was just a funny, silly video, and I'm not kidding when I tell you that whatever we do, walking around the house, stub your toe. Walking ain't easy. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're doing, and we say something ain't easy, and it's always in your voice. So I think that's hilarious. I jumped here, and then I got lost. I see Axe Monkey, aloha, Lag, Silver Haired Stacker, aloha, Biff Boffo. Just getting back from Costco before it hits 105. That's not a radio station, people. 105 KITS-FM. No, that's a temperature. It's hot. It's hot in California in the July for sure. Weekend was awesome for sales, Jen says. Today now is dead, of course. Wait, what happened? John Flippin' Ain't Easy said I had to do a double take. I sounded drunk. No, it's a little too early for that. I thought Primo was on a bender over the weekend, and then it dawned on me I had to at 0.75 times. If you need something to do and you need a good laugh, go watch anybody on YouTube and put them down to 0.75. They're like, so aloha, everybody. Come back here, you rabbit. Speaking of rabbits, let's have a hand for Pokey, everybody. Thank you. Tiny dog. Let's see who else is here. Lag says he sold the mask. That's a cool mask. I sold a railroad lantern. Well, those can be cool. Remember the railroad lanterns when they had you know because you just sold one. But I mean, they used to be like a hot item, like before eBay, probably antique stores. Those railroads that had did they have a green and a red lights? Like you could turn them around. Or I can't remember. There was something special about railroad lanterns, and they were quite expensive, like hundreds of dollars. Flippin' ain't easy, John. Welcome to the party. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Major Win. Why doesn't it come up here? So I'm really behind though, so that's probably why. Major Win, super chat. Thank you for being a rock star. Thank you very much. And you go over here and you heart it and you like it and you doesn't give me any heart options on the membership joining. Let's see if I can find my place again here. I see Mark. I see Patricia's here. Aloha, Patricia. Oh gosh, I'm okay. Here we go. Do I have everybody now? Yes. Okay, so I see Kent Hamilton. Oh, what was that here? Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Biff. But aloha to Kent, nonetheless. Kevin, aloha. Hello to Ryan, if I didn't say hello to you already. Dragu of Mount Shasta, aloha. 6x6 and Miss Merritt. Aloha, Patricia. I see Carla Olfin is here. Hi, Carla. And I'm stuck. Get unstuck, please. Thank you. And who else? Let's see. I'm just going down the list here. Just going. I think I got everybody. Oop, I see Bearded. Aloha, Bearded. I'm going to pick up a KRR scooter. Is that like a old person scooter? I need one. I need one of those. I want mine to look like a tiny Rolls Royce, like my old car. I feel like that. I need that. I mean, I guess I'm only 55, so I probably need to go through the golf cart stage first. So I do keep my eyes open for a good golf cart. Where's the closest golf course, sweetie? Like 10, 15 miles away. Where? Which? Oh, downtown or Burlington Country Club. Oh yeah, it's a nice one. So right, so in my town there is a country club, a very nice one that you forget about because it's so tucked in on the top of the hill up there that you forget about it. But it's a good golf course, I guess. And we've got a dozen other ones. But I was just thinking about driving from our house to the golf course. In fact, that's only not even 5 miles, probably, right? Sweetie, why don't we have a golf cart? Why are we suckers driving around in our... the video that we did this weekend was I was trying to drive to the store without touching the gas pedal, and then we got to this tiny little hill, and it... spoiler alert. I won't tell you. This is coffee, by the way. No one's ever accused this of being booze, by the way. I appreciate that. But it's not. That would be kind of gross. But I do recommend the Stoke a little bit. It fires me right up. Okay, so are we done? Do we say hi to everybody? Are you actually doing work, or are you looking at the chat?
Oh, Ryan gifted a membership.
Ryan gifted a Patricia's back! I gotta tell you, I have no idea how that algorithm gives out those memberships, and I know that it seems to be like 20 people, and there's people in here who have never had them. I see names in here who have never been a member. It doesn't go to them; it goes to people who contribute a lot. I mean, obviously the algorithm works on that. So, thank you, Patricia. Welcome back. I'm definitely going to be upping the Romper Bumper Stomper do totally upping the membership game in the sense that nothing's going to change on the freebie part, but I want to do more memberships, so we're going to, but I want to talk about it a whole lot and then not do it so that people wonder if I'm actually going to do it or not. But the truth is that I really enjoy doing less formatted stuff, and like the slow car ride, like the slow ride. It's just something that we enjoy doing, or just because we would be doing it without the camera there. And that's what makes us even more ridiculous. Hi. My brain just went away. Okay, I have a book here. You did notes for me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And because this is eBay reseller news, there's a couple of things. So I want to tell you how much I don't care about one thing. Which one is it? The head of collectibles is leaving. Gene Cook announces his departure. You know, we just sell collectibles, so I guess it's kind of important to us. But at the same time, I don't care. But he was in. Yeah, he did the golden, like the cards, and the collectible and the PSA merger thing, that whole thing. He did that. So I don't know if I'm going to miss him or not, or maybe it's a good thing that he's out of here for we collectible salespeople. And what else? He established the long-term relationship with collectibles and PSA. Now, he was considered a boomerang employee because he went where? Where did he go before he came back? Oh, okay. He didn't go to Walmart and then come back because I don't want those guys back. Rocket Man. Oh, and the Rocket Man resale. Let's look at that really quick because there's nothing to see really for the most part. Here's my super expensive mask that I'm like the most excited reseller on the planet. When you do that, you're like, oh, I'm a genius at picking stuff off of a tarp on someone's front lawn. So this was kind of cool. I thought this was really cool. This Rocket Man resell. It's Elton John. It's all donation going to the Elton John AIDS Foundation. This was, I guess, kind of a cap off to Pride Month, I believe. Although these items are still for sale. They haven't ended yet. And so eBay did this whole, although where did you see it? We stumbled upon it somewhere, maybe on that carousel on the front page. I can't remember. But it was a big deal, supposed to be. It was live. It was Elton John live auction kickoff on Friday. And apparently it was a big bust. And their technology sucked, and it was all pixelated. And I looked all over the internet. I scoured to try to find somebody who had recorded it just so we could see how awful it was. And couldn't find it. So the auction's still up. It's kind of fun to look at. It's kind of cool that Elton John would bring his junk over to eBay. I feel like that was, I'm glad to be part of that program. But at the same time, they can't even get Whatnot it has been dominating on. They couldn't even get that straight. So go check out, where was that from? You didn't write where they're from, so now I'm going to say one.
Oh, that was Liz.
That was Liz Morton at e-commerce bites.
No.
Wait, what?
Liz is value added.
See, you should have written it down. Now I've given out false information, and now no one's going to know what the truth is. People are now they're going to associate the two. Unassociate. Stop, halt, unassociate names. Liz Morton is value added resource. Thank you. Ina Steiner. Thank you. I got it. Don't worry. Go check out the stories at the two places with the ladies. And then that was everything from them, right? Well, there was a changing of a layout to leave feedback for buyer screen, buyer ID or item ID, etc., not visible. And I have one thing to say that, and it was sort of like a person was talking about how it made it difficult for sellers to leave feedback, and they like to search feedback and do all this stuff. And the only thing I could think of, and this is a smart alecky kind of response, but it is definitely the Primo response to this, is why don't you have automatic feedback on? I know some of you, we've talked about this before, and some people just don't do that. I have had automatic feedback on forever. If someone gives me a negative feedback, they still got a positive from me because they paid. The only thing a buyer has to do in my tiny reptilian brain, all they got to do is give me the grease my palm. You've done your job. You get a good positive feedback from me. If you've paid me, you get a positive feedback. And for sure, in 20 years of doing eBay, they haven't had that automatic feedback for that long. But in so using it, it establishes a establishes a relationship of trust. So they can see that you've sort of handed over the sword. I mean, that's not really a good example. You've handed over the power to them in this tiny little insignificant way that you can't retaliate against them anyway. So what are you going to do? Just not leave them a feedback? Ooh, you really showed them. So anyway, I think that everyone should have auto feedback on. And then the question that was up there was totally irrelevant. If you have the auto feedback on, how many of you, let's take a poll. No, I'm not going to take a poll. How many of you actually do not have auto feedback on? And how many of you don't have auto feedback on because you don't really know how to do it or didn't do it? And then how many people are like me and just sort of super passive aggressive about everything and want to be in full control and just want to go like, I'm going to leave my own words when I want to. It saves you a lot of time. You never think about feedback again. And still, you're only going to get about 25% return feedback anyway. So, let's see here. I see Ryan says, my wife picked up 6 1950s Hawaiian-themed vinyl records at a thrift store the other day. Off the top of my head, one was Hawaiian wedding song, Little Grass Shack in Blue Hawaii. Well, Ryan, I'll be the first to tell you. You now know that's half of the Hawaiian music catalog right there. So pretty much, if those 6 albums didn't all have different people singing those 3 songs, I'd be surprised. They were $1 a piece. They are going up in price. I see right now. I watch that category a lot, Hawaiian music, and it's currently what's hitting the top now is 1970s Hawaiian stuff. So it's going to be a lot of slacky guitar, but a lot of what do you call the guitar without fretless? So a lot of fretless guitar, a lot of real heavy, maybe 12 stringy stuff. Very kind of hippie Hawaiian stuff in a way. Stoic says, "Howsy, aloha, Kevin." Mike Gertis says, "Good afternoon. Getting my first of the month's early sales. Would love for my store to turn on all month. Oh well, still happy with my smells. That's awesome. Smells. Still happy with my smells. That's not what I meant. Well, that's what came out." Paul Rose said, came back on its own for about 4 hours late yesterday. Dead since. Need to get it repaired. Over 180,000 photos and videos for new listings on it. Paul, I don't know exactly what you said there. Your phone. Oh, because I missed the whole beginning part. Okay, got to go back up. Where'd Paul say? What did Paul say? Do you know, sweetie? No. Did he break something? Break his phone, his camera? Something broke. My Mac is dead. His Mac died. No. Oh, yeah. Paul, I don't suppose you had backup. You have backup? May I offer another guru alert? Yes, you may. Thank you. I didn't give you the alert yet. Back up your stuff onto an online backup thing. They've gone up in price, so sometimes they do seem a little bit. I don't think they're $100 a month yet, but you can back up every single thing on your computer to this offsite. So when your house burns down, and so does your backup drive, you haven't lost everything. And they back it up in such a way that it's a constant, so you can back it up to any specific date. So say you had corrupted RAID drives or something and those got backed up, which does happen from time to time. You can go back before the RAIDs got messed up. And that's all I have to say about that. But that does remind me, because that was kind of a Forrest Gumpery, that new movie that's coming out. It's very tingly, has a tingly trailer called Here. And it looks like it's kind of Forrest Gump 2 in a way, because it's got Robin Wright Penn and Forrest. What's his name? Tom Hanks? Yeah. Did you have something else to say besides Tom Hanks? Yeah, I'd like some creme brulee right now, please. Can you fire up the torch? We watched Once Upon a Time in America last night, and I totally forgot about the flamethrower. And I was so excited when the flamethrower happened. Spoiler alert. What's it called? California? Hollywood? Brad Pitt? Whatever. You've seen it. We've all seen it. And I was tripping on when they were driving through the downtown part on Sunset Boulevard, and they had done like 2 blocks. And then I saw this weird way that they were shooting it so they could get, it looked like they were going long, driving down the street. They'd only set decorated 2 blocks. But they drove for like 4 or 5, and I liked how the Pantages Theater was behind them. But I noticed that the camera was attached to the background as opposed to the car. Just thought it was really weird. Nobody else cares, but I did. Lag says he always pays eventually. Who is the guy? He bought the mask, right? But it's insane how you get really strung out on eBay's a tough gig for your nerves. So when that guy didn't pay, we're just like, oh gosh, because if he did pay, life would be like exponentially better. And then if he doesn't pay, life gets exponentially worse. And then he did pay, and then everything was better. It was just today instead of last week. Had to kind of keep our cool for a couple of days. And that nobody, I mean, does anybody really take that into account? How much does it cost for me to keep my cool for several days? Waiting for people to pay for the ghoulie ghoster lag. Sweetie, do you have anything to say? I feel like I'm just riffing on my own breath.
Why don't you read comments?
I read your comments.
No, read comments.
There's so many though, sweetie. So many comments.
Being a dummy.
Did you just call me Mr. Dumas? Okay. I'm coming down. I know I have so many things in my mind, but they're so convoluted.
Quite a few people have said that they do have auto feedback on,
Okay,
but Patricia
here we go.
auto feedback on.
Let's go. Let's go, Patricia. I'm coming down to the bottom of the chat.
She had it on, and then a sale went completely south, and customer service criticized her. Why did you leave positive feedback if it went wrong? And that's when she turned the auto feedback off.
Positive feedback on the sale that went completely south. It turned it off. Yeah. I mean, we have had only one single issue with a weirdo. I mean, and like a really, probably, like not a normal customer. And they issued a negative feedback on not just the day that it was supposed to be delivered, even though they're in upstate New York and we're in Vermont, there was a snowstorm, the whole bit. It wasn't the day that it was supposed to be delivered, because I believe it did show up on the day. It was the hour that it was supposed to show up that the person left us negative feedback. And I don't even know how you get to the hour. I can't remember specifically how that worked out, but he got positive feedback from us because they get it every time. I'm trying to think of if that makes a difference. I mean, this guy was terrible, left us negative feedback. It got removed. We left him positive feedback. I'm just trying to think of anything that could have anything wrong with that situation except for him getting an undeserved positive feedback. He had negative feedbacks, I guess, from selling, or they were super old. He had some very probably false negatives, because he definitely had, there was a lot of signs that this guy didn't do eBay right. And I think he probably had positive negatives. But anyway, the bottom line is I'm referring to somebody leaving a detailed comment about how the change in the feedback system has messed up their ability to leave positive feedbacks the way they want to do it. And I very much think that taking that whole feedback piece out of your brain helps a lot. But, when you do leave a positive feedback for somebody who doesn't deserve it, I guess it can potentially indicate to a future buyer that this guy might be okay when he really isn't. That's the one rub I can see. Lag says, Mac, just run your time machine weekly. Yeah, you got to back up. Yeah, backing up is terrible. That's why I did subscribe to, what's ours called? Backblaze. And because I can't remember to do stuff, I just have to pay some service to do it for me. That's just like one of the few things that we actually have to do that for. Let me see what Paul Rose says. Afraid not, Primo. External backup already died. Not to worry. Hoping it's repairable. Should get the data back. Worst case scenario, just another problem cost. Yeah, I don't like that. I hate that. This is, I don't know. Look into the Backblaze thing, because it does off-site you. But you said this is your external backup is dead, but I'm talking about off-site, like online. It backs it up, encrypts it, and backs it up online. Of course, all your secret valuable datas have to go somewhere else. Like, I guess all of our tax returns and everything are backed up there. It's not like we put them in a special place. So if you could hack into Backblaze, you could see our taxes because lag has nothing better to do.
So Bearded was doing the scooter because Joni broke her ankle in 3
What?
spots.
No. You know what's awesome about breaking your ankle? Nothing. You know how I know? Because I did it last year. And I have, I want to say, so there's like a one of the erector sets. It's like like the bars from an erector set with the holes in it. I've got like a 6-inch chunk of that with 8 screws, two lag screws in my ankle, and then just regular drywall screws, I assume, the rest of them. But I had to be awake the whole time when they did the surgery. So is she doing surgery? No surgery.
I don't think so because she has the scooter.
Well, I had a scooter. I had a wheelchair.
Oh, right. I wonder if she had surgery then.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's to have surgery or not to have surgery is a whole big thing. But our middle-aged weight, needing to be active later, for the rest of forever. Those were the reasons why we chose operation. And then I went in for the operation and they couldn't get the stupid air down my, sorry, I shouldn't use stupid so much. They couldn't get the dumb, the air tube down my throat, and they had to stop the operation. So they couldn't start it. So it never happened. So I had to wait for a week and then come back in and go through the whole upsetting ordeal again. But this time it was on St. Patrick's Day. So that was cool. And they played the Pixies the whole time. Oh, the Pogues, sorry. And I had to be awake for the whole time. So they gave me a spinal, which was unpleasant. And then I was completely awake talking to the guy. And he's like, yeah, your leg's completely filleted. And there's just blood squirting everywhere. And I'm like, wow, I can't feel it. And I was rocking like at my hips because it's called a saddle block. So it paralyzes you essentially from the waist down. And I was trying to like rock myself out of I don't know. I'm just saying I remember that. I was probably a little goofy on something, but I was fully wide awake the whole time. What else do we need to know? Is she getting the operation, I guess? But
I don't think he's hurt anymore.
oh, okay.
Hopefully she's on her way to heal.
Yeah, you got to do the best to heal. So however that works. But particularly, it was clear. They said with your age and your weight and your desire to be functional for the long run, those were the 3 things. And they were like, you have to get the operation.
So Lag heard that eBay is doing away with the block buyer list. They're saying it drives away customers.
Well, it's supposed to.
Can you say it out loud?
Is that? Oh, sorry. Lag is reporting, which I'm not seeing, but I'm getting it from the peanut gallery back here, that they're trying to get rid of block buyers on eBay. I haven't read that, so I don't know the list, because it drives away sales and buyers. Well, yeah, that's the point. That's my John, flippin' ain't John, flippin' ain't easy. He had used to have block parties. Those are like fun. Some people suck on eBay. There's no doubt about it. So I don't know how they're gonna get rid of that and at the same time try to limit their customer service exposure because they've got AI. I mean, they keep doing kind of silly things like that where they're like, okay, we're going to make this so much more customer service intensive, but we're going to remove customer service at the same time. Right? Right. Let's see. Yes. Anybody, if you haven't seen that, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is just really cool. If for nothing but sort of the story is just awesome. And I don't want to tell you anything about it except for it is centered around Sharon Tate, Tate LaBianca. Well, Charles Manson and his stuff. So, but it's just if that doesn't sound good to you and you haven't seen the movie, it really is good. It'll leave you feeling good at the end, even though that's a pretty terrible tragedy. He reworked it a little bit. Biff says he had a mini marathon of Laurie Saunders B movies over the weekend. That's awesome. We probably should put that on the list because Matt has done so much work with her team.
Have you said hi to Dragoo?
Yes. Shall I do it again? Welcome to the show. Okay, wait. So now how did Patricia, yeah, no, you don't want to, yeah, okay. So she's saying I cannot afford to lose a Starburst clock over auto feedback. Does that, let me try to make the connection there. So you left auto feedback, but something went wrong with the sale and the person didn't pay? No, they did pay then, but you left them positive feedback. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think positive feedback means, it's not legally binding. What? You got it?
Well, right, but once you leave the feedback, you can't change it. So if it went south.
If the sale went south.
Figure it out.
I'm trying. I just can't. Do you think you know it? Do you think you figured it out? Genius.
It doesn't take figuring it out. It's obvious.
What is it? Tell me. I don't get it. I'm a big dummy. Pretend I'm a big dummy. It won't be hard. Thank you. Okay, explain it to me. She leaves auto feedback.
The customer gets the clock.
Customer gets the clock.
Bitches about it, says something's wrong.
Something's wrong with it.
Item not as described.
Item's not as described. Okay.
So then when Patricia tries to defend herself, eBay says, well, why do you leave them positive feedback?
Because auto feedback is on.
Right.
That's the only reason I left auto feedback.
She can't
Not because it was a good transaction, but because I had auto feedback on.
She can't risk losing an expensive clock over auto feedback.
Do you think they use that as a definitive do you think they use that as part of the evidence that you had? So here's the point. If she doesn't have the money or the clock, one or the other. So in other words, how does she lose? How can she lose the clock? Sweetie, please explain. The person complains and somehow convinces eBay that Patricia did something wrong, and they get to keep the clock. I don't know how that happens. I can't see. Okay, so we're not going to talk about it anymore because I can't find the whole. All I can see is that perhaps because eBay is so arbitrary, that this could come up as this could be an arbitrary piece that they throw in and say, ha. But because they leave that feature of automatic feedback, I've never had a problem with it. And I'm not sure Patricia's had a problem with it, but she's not willing to take a risk on it. And that I understand.
Do you remember there was on the seller update?
On the seller update, can you just come over here and talk? How do I get this over there to you? Get over here. Talk into this microphone. You're taking too long. People are leaving. They're going. There's 62 viewers. It's going to drop to 61.
On the summer seller update, there was a summary we were looking at, and one thing that drew our attention sort of was saying that the eBay rules essentially do not apply to any transaction unless the item is paid for. So even though someone maybe doesn't buy it now and doesn't pay for it yet, there's no legally binding
that is a good
thing
point.
anymore saying like they just committed to this, they now need to pay for it.
The legal contract on eBay happens after payment is received. And before that, people can just willy-nilly not pay you.
So then for me, that also should apply to the fact when people have said that they received negative feedback on a transaction that
didn't have a buyer.
A buyer requested to cancel, and somehow they are still able to leave feedback. So if that's true, if you know, if a buyer wants to cancel
Identicor.
before they pay,
Well, they did come out
should not be
also.
able to leave feedback.
They did also come out and say that's now part of the automatic feedback removal. It was supposed to be that way, and now they're redoing their thing so that it can be that way. Yay! Thank you for making yourself known. Carl says, with eBay mutating feedback into the reviews now. Yeah, I guess so. Has anyone heard if they are going to score them differently or whether they are going to impact accounts less or differently? Personally, I have not. According to, just the little articles this weekend, they weren't really talking about that reviews piece where you were forced to leave reviews, and I think that they've backed off on that a little bit. But it does occur to everybody that, and in some cases, some of you are selling things that are replenishable and everything, but every single thing that sort of comes up here as progress seems to leave. Remember how there was that little blip of hope? Oh, collectible people, you're going to get some attention now. Yay. And everything is about basically the Timuing of eBay. Everything I hear is about streamlining like product injectors. Like people, huge accounts, they got rid of our how many items we can sell or how much we can make. They make it super easy and add tools for, multi-quantity items. Let's say that. Repeatable items. But for those of us with the one-offs, I don't see anything good coming. Oh, wait, what about the whole thing I wanted to talk about today? The most exciting thing, which are preliminary before coming on air today. We signed up for list perfectly. And insert adverb here. Really excited about list perfectly. I watched, Josh, if you're here, we did watch the Lindsay lady video. Lindy Glenn. I don't know. She was suspended for 3 days only, not permanent suspension. And in her video, she said that she has gotten lots of Vero requests. She said generally when she gets a Vero takedown, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I've never gotten a Vero. So I'm not even sitting in the same world. The only thing we've had taken down was the Virgin Killers by Scorpions cassette. That's the only thing we had taken down, and it was because of, obviously, the wording of the title of the song was not working for eBay, so they took it down and we never put it back up. So other than that, so I'm wondering if she walks the line with Vero's, and that's why her 3-day suspension is happening. And beauty products. We don't deal with those, as they say. As the kids say, we don't mess with that, but they say it the F word. That's like the cool new thing.
Did you say hi to Miss Lachey?
I did not, Miss Lachey. Aloha. Yeah, I did. She was at the top, at the tip top. But I'm going to say it again. Aloha. And she did say that she saw, that's how we saw that she sells the beauty products. But there were, it was pretty clear that she has a lot of interactions with the Vero thing. So that's probably why she got taken down. Or a 3-day suspension, which happens. Now I wanted to talk about the nurse picker. And that is, she's talking about the List Perfectly app that has this new Aloha Kali Dubs. The List Perfectly app has this new listing tool. So it's currently right now. I saw Nurse Picker do a video on it, and I'm like, yes, if that's real, which I doubt, that's game changing. So it's AI listing tool that's added on to their, so you got to pay like the $60, but then you get the discount. It was $50 for a month of it to try it out. And it has AI listing capabilities. And what I want to use it for and what I need it to work for is for listing books and records. And I'm hoping that there's enough AI data in the system to list things that have been listed a million times, like books and records. And then I can formulate because supposedly you're able to put up 4 or 5 pictures, 6 pictures maybe it says it wants, and then it's going to put up everything else, fill out the entire 80% of the listing for you, including item specifics and stuff. So that sounds pretty exciting. And I'm a Tree Cat affiliate, but I have to go through all the different things. Totally, John, for sure. I love the people at Tree Cat, but what they didn't have is they didn't have the ability for me to have multiple eBay listings and transfer items, stores, and transfer items between stores. So I had to use InkFrog to do that. I tried InkFrog for the last month. It worked really well for that job that I needed it to do, but I'm not really psyched on its day in, day out. So I'd have to say that I'd recommend InkFrog for the purpose we used it for, but not necessarily for anything else. List Perfectly is offering me this AI listing tool. So I'm using it to try out that one specific thing. As far as the layout and the working and the accessibility of TreeCat, that's what I love about them. But I need to know what's out there and what doesn't work for me before I'm able to even interact with them in a reasonable way. So mostly I haven't been using it because I haven't been able, and I haven't been talking to them because I haven't been able to give them my thoughtful opinion. That's it.
And your code isn't even on their website.
My code is not on their website right now, but I think it still works. It's just not on their main thing. And because I'm not using it, I have used it. So I definitely like the way it works compared. I haven't used Vendu yet, but I want to try all the big ones and see what happens.
So does List Perfectly allow you to do between eBay stores?
List Perfectly, you can go between eBay stores. It's a totally different thing, and already I have one annoyance. I can show you small news. If you go to our items, let's see. Do I dox myself if I just go to our selling? I don't think so.
Why can't you just not have it open right now?
Okay. Right. See if I'm going to dox myself first. Because it's kind of exciting. Am I going to dox myself?
And by the way, Patricia did say, because what can happen is
Yes.
eBay can refund the buyer.
Refund the buyer. Patricia said this.
And let the buyer keep the item.
Refund the buyer and let them keep it because you left them a positive feedback?
Oh, God, shut up.
Why are you so angry at me? Tell me how I'm not getting it. Get over here.
She said she loses when eBay refunds the buyer.
When eBay refunds the buyer.
Keep it. Trust me.
What?
Just forget it.
She doesn't get her money? Does she get her money? Does she get to keep her money? Because in some cases, it's true. eBay will refund the seller and they will refund the buyer and let the buyer keep the item. But she still got her money back. So I'm just wondering how she gets ripped off. That's all. Because I don't want to do that.
Well, protect other buyers.
I mean, that's true. Okay. I'm following that argument. I'm just not following that. Leaving feedback automatically for anybody leaves you open to anything. That's all I'm saying. But Patricia's saying it could potentially. And that would be if they need to adjudicate a situation and they're like, you left positive feedback for this. I left it 2 seconds after they paid me. That would be my defense. I will shut you up, mister. Where's the dog?
He's Primo. It's not that hard.
I can't do it. I can't jam it down my thick skull. You'd be surprised. And it'll take 6 months. And then I'll be like skipping down the road and I'll be like, ping. You remember that? Where was that? Where was the bong from Back to the Future? But anyway, it'll just go ding and I'll go, oh, that's what she was talking about. Now I get it. If I try too hard to think something through, I can't do it.
Mag said Foxtail is a
Patricia did not get the funds Customer service agent was very critical of my case as I left positive feedback through the auto function. Well, you know, that's a CS agent. You know, I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about them. Miss Lachey says, Auto Posher is the new cross-listing kid on the block. Everyone is now promoting Auto Posher. I assume you have to use Poshmark for that. No, we don't sell clothes, so I don't use Poshmark at all. Our next chapter is trying out the, and I'm not, so TreeCat, I can actually say that I enjoyed the functionality of it, but it didn't have enough for me. So I couldn't do the things I needed to. Tree flog. That's not even a real thing. Ink frog is I can actually give you a real opinion of that. I think it is a solid program that doesn't do everything I want, and mainly those things are you can't list many places. So I think it's only InkFrog is only Amazon and eBay. Is InkFrog only Amazon and eBay? So if you like those, I would suggest it if you only have those two places to deal with. Vendu does a whole bunch of places, but I haven't done like Mercari, Poshmark, everything, but I haven't tried that. And List Perfect does a whole bunch of places, and I'm just starting to figure it out. The very first thing they did that I didn't like was that they give you, so if you go here and look at, these are our items that we have for sale. I love the way TreeCat uses the agent. So, and you can have a little server in your house that runs it. That's like one of their coolest things, because that agent is not dependent upon Chrome. It's not a Chrome extension or something. It's just running as a tiny little server 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, not getting interrupted by other processes for the most part. So that in TreeCat, I think, is super smart. This is an extension, so you can see all this blue stuff here. This is from List Perfectly, and they interject this. In some cases, these circles will be, you can see a little piece of it here next to start selecting. So it's, it's not perfect. It's a little, just sometimes it doesn't work right exactly. But anyway, I need to see how this, if this AI thing works. I think it is a game changer. I think it's a game changer. I can't imagine it's going to work perfectly, though. So, yeah, and Patricia is saying, and that's true, they're the CS agents are the adjudicators, and their decisions matter. I mean, that's a really, I would fight that one, like, probably a whole bunch. But point taken, Patricia, there is one... that would be one issue, not to use auto feedback, although I haven't run into that issue as of yet.
Well, when you do, then you reconsider it.
Yeah, as soon as it happens to me, I'm all about reconsidering it. Yeah. Major Win just bought a toilet seat. No, he didn't. He said, awesome job with that toilet seat for flipping ain't easy. Who did? Did Jovial Juggler buy one? Major Win says, at Jovial Juggler, awesome job with that toilet seat for flipping ain't easy. Flipping taint easy. Humor. Major Win wants to start selling shower poopers just on the off chance that Jovial Juggler sends us a decorated toilet seat. Paul Rose says, where did we get those creep show masks? Those are Tots, Trick or Treat Studios. The creep show ones. But we did buy them on eBay, yeah. But with tags. and they're these are the Zygon Studios versions, and then they did a new sculpt. See, I'm a mask collector now. I can talk like sculpts, and they did a new sculpt that's better. So I'm selling these, but when we got these from Snake, this guy on eBay named Snake sold them to us. We got them, and Harry, the it's a man and woman, so it was Ted Danson, and I can't remember who the actress was that played his wife in Creepshow, 1983's Creepshow, and they end up being zombies, and they come back to haunt somebody, and they're pretty creepy and awesome. I've always loved them. And what was my point? Damn. I just start talking about stuff, and I'm like, do you have a point? Something to do with Patricia. Yeah, Snake, right. So Snake, Harry had some like goop in his hair. And I think it was like somebody had used some contact cement from a spray can to maybe glue some leaves or seaweed onto his head. I'm not exactly sure, but it had some annoying stuff on it. So I contacted the seller, and I said, hey, do you know what this stuff is? You know, I have never seen it before, so I don't know. Did this come with the mask? He's like, no, but I thought it looked good, so I just sold it that way. And I'm like, but the lady's head doesn't have it. And he's like, fine, he just refunded us. He just keep them. I don't want them. I don't want to see them again. And I'm like, what was in the hair? So I was like, he doesn't want those masks back. So it's, they may be poisoned. Thank you. But I can give you a discount on them. They don't smell weird or anything. We did. We shampooed a little piece to see if we could get it out. But we ended up combing most of the stuff out. It was like 3 hours later, and we're still combing them. I'm like, they're not even worth that much. But we got them in pretty good condition, I would say. They still have the tags on them. They're brand new. They're brand new. Major Win says some things. Paul says, where'd you get those masks? Lag says, Major Win just lagged me.
I wanted to say Bip Boffo was saying how as long as we have to review oh shit. No, he was just saying how
You swears. You had swears out of your mouth. So
Bip Boffo.
Biff is saying,
From what I have seen, the AI listers choose dumb keywords.
from what I have seen, the AI listers choose dumb keywords, poor keyword order, and they get a lot of things wrong.
But
This thing that we're using, list perfectly, it seems to be pretty good.
it gives you options of how fluffy you want it.
Shall we look at it really quick?
Yeah, show them.
Okay, here. I'm hold on. Let me just try not to dox the doxing thing.
Ask you if you want precise, professional, lighthearted, or something.
Okay, listings. Add listing. Let me see if I'm in the right place. No. So it's a new thing. I'm not exactly sure how to use it all. Listing party, current issue, referral, my account, guide, news. Listing party, events page. See, they make it difficult to get to it because it's... Shoot. I've only been there once, so to be honest with you. Only used it that one time before I started the show here. It's... Oh, this is it. Is it? Express Lister. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see. Okay. If this works, although I don't see why is this grayed out? Okay, let's X this out. Okay, there's the BJ Thomas. Express Lister. Got it. Okay. So, this is how you start one if you're listing it from within the List Perfectly platform. Yeah, let's see. You go from the bottom. What if I go from the bottom? This doesn't do anything. Okay. So just trying to move this page down. So it's
Motorcycle dork.
aloha. Oh, let's just work with this. Okay, so you come over here. This is what I did. I went browse. I took these pictures here, and I opened these 5 pictures in here. So it wants 6 pictures, so maybe that part of it. I didn't get in 15 minutes. I used this. I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but let's see. So use the express lister. You put the 5 pictures or 6 pictures in here. Then you hit listing assistant. Listing assistant vision. So this is like, it's got some Marvel comic character in it. So that's pretty cool. Listing assistant uses first 6 images to generate your listing. For the best results, images can include labels, brand, size. Select tone. Slightly funny, very funny, storyteller, verbose, professional, just the facts, antiques, vintage, persuasive, bookworm, sports or athletics, antique, vintage, just the facts. So what I need is to put one in here that's 45 records. I mean, that's really what we need, but you can see up here it says customize, so I have to work with this. But if we just went in and put in concise, let's say, and then launch it, you don't have, so they want this to work out. You don't have to do anything else. And as far as the payment plan right now, there's 3 levels, the 3rd level being the pro plan. Right now, that pro plan is $69 a month, but you can, if you use a coupon code for 30% off, it costs $50 for the first month, and you get this AI crap until the end of the year. And then I think they're going to turn up the heat on it all. So what they're doing during this time is that we're essentially beta testing. But if I can get books and 45 we have 10,000 books to list and thousands of 45 records. If we can get just those 2 things to work on here, then it seems like we can list like 12,000 items effortlessly.
So
Fairly.
I already see one problem.
Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, so it's back.
Count is 86.
Out of 140?
Right.
Okay.
But eBay only allows 80.
That's right. So there's a good thing. Now, I'm amazed. So it's showing here the character count on the title is 86 characters out of 140. So because this can list to 20 different platforms, not everything's built for eBay, but you can go in and do that. You can customize it. I know. And so I'm not even doing, this is not this is me purchasing it and trying it out. I have no allegiance to them at this time. I want to, though. See, I like to like people, and I love TreeCat for the people that they are and their accessibility, and I like this for the robot AI that's going to list my books. Anyway, okay, so go back to that, cancel that thing, and then when you come down here, the draft, I don't know what the draft, okay, so here's, oh, whoa, calm down, lady. Oh, it's out of control over here. How do you know? You're best friends with everybody now? Okay, so it gets the brand right, not. It gets the material that it's made out of right. It's vinyl. It's true. There is a black and reddish color. And the brand is not B.J. Thomas. So how do we get it to be author? Classic 1969 hit by B.J. Thomas on 7-inch vinyl record, a must-have for any vinyl collector and music enthusiast. That's not proper English, but that's okay. 7-inch vinyl, 45 RPM, original sleeve, Scepter Records label, song Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. You can see for the most sleeve shows minor wear vinyl in good condition. I don't know how it's giving it a grade, but it's filling in a lot of information. Here's the key words, Biff. This is why I wanted to show this. Vinyl record, 7-inch, B.J. Thomas, Scepter Records, Raindrops Keep Falling. 45 RPM, classic hits, 1969 music, collectible vinyl, single record, oldies music, vintage record. Those are pretty good keywords. I don't think they're probably not complete, but they're pretty good. So, and this AI they just dropped on yesterday or like the weekend. So it's fresh and new, and hopefully we can add and help them. You know, if TreeCat offered this, I would help them. But no matter what, I need to help whoever's going to give me this auto lister to work more quickly, because I need to do it now, yesterday. That's all I can show you for this right now. I don't see anything else. There's no shipping weight, or I assume you can do a lot of customizations to make it fit better.
Right, like it doesn't do the category.
It's not doing the category. Where's the category?
Right, there's no category.
I don't. Maybe it knows that. I don't see category
So
in
it
here.
would put it in the eBay record category?
So yes, I don't know where would it go. How do we know where it goes? I don't know, to be honest with you. So I don't know. I don't even know how to use this program. I've never looked at it before. So, but what is interesting is the keywords are going to be used to fill out item specifics, and on other platforms, whatever tags, keywords, item specifics, whatever they call it, they're going to use this grouping of essentially tags. Like the oldest people on the internet would call these tags, I think. But then keywords, and then now metadata, whatever. Blah, blah. Okay, so let's go back to me. Hi. Let's read what Biff says. How will it know to choose the A-side or B-side title? Exactly, Biff. Now that's what we need to teach it. Because that's one of the... I left her to do 45s, but she's not a music head. So, and she certainly doesn't know 1960s or 70s music.
Most of the records don't have an A or B noted, so I'm sitting
And
there
back
going,
then, and the older records don't have dates on them. I mean, 45s in general may not have dates on them.
no A side, no B side.
No A-side, no
I don't know who
B-side.
the hit songs are.
So yeah, so she didn't know them. This would be huge. I would say that I'm pretty good, about 70% I can tell with the A-side. But some of the records, most of the music, once I listen to it, I'm like, awesome. By the way, totally obsessed over Doot Doot now. But
He likes the title. I have to say the title's pretty good.
title's pretty good.
But it's not in the format that we usually
Well, we may have to change our format. So I'm expecting also AI to teach us how to do it right, maybe to a certain extent, because I'm so self-taught that I have a formula for almost everything that doesn't change. So is it possible that the formats have changed, title formulations have changed slightly, that might be a little more effective in getting sales?
Can we tell it that it can only do 80 characters?
I'm thinking that we probably can. We can probably do little tweaks like that so it knows that for the most part this is going to eBay. And if we're going to use that auto lister thing, make the titles for eBay. I don't know. Maybe that's something we need to offer and tell them we need. So, or in the worst case scenario, this thing is going to, I have to cough. In the worst case scenario, I believe this is going to effectively make listing faster. Not perfect. So don't use that name anymore. It's listing fast. It's going to list faster. So if you can just put pictures in there and it's going to fill out anything, it's faster than a template. It's faster than anything. It's faster than Sell Similar from eBay. Not quite faster than that. Unless it depends on its accuracy at that point. Thank you. Let's see. I see. Hey, Froze is here. Hello, high fives. I just want to see people are talking about virtual assistants. I want to see what John set up here. He said words and then I lost them. A full-time flippers podcast. Aloha. I love selling toilet seats. When I was a young boy, my aunt and uncle had a toilet seat with $1. He's not kidding. Those are the yes. They have back in the I want to say mid 60s, they had Lucite toilet seats that have, and they would have Ben Franklin 50-cent pieces in them. So I think they were silver. I think all the coins that were embedded in those toilet seats were silver. But you can buy kits now and just make them yourself. So you can put any old thing you want in there. You can put CDs in there. It's not very comfortable. But you can put broken glass in there. I mean, you could do that. You know what I always liked back in the day were those puffy vinyl toilet seats. Remember when you'd go over to someone's house and you'd sit down on the toilet seat and it would go. Remember that, sweetie? You remember that? No. It was the same time when they have the little carpet underneath the toilet, which, by the way, is to catch urine. Like the carpet that goes around the toilet was specifically to catch urine. Thank you. More life lessons. Where's my... I know, Patricia. She loves to not be mic'd. She loves to not be mic'd today. She's like, I like Monday when I can sit back there. She talks the whole time like she's up here, but no one can hear her. It's super annoying. She yells at me all the time. She makes me cry. No one can hear you.
I just hope that you.
No one can hear you. You can't hear. I see John up here. We should have the seat up on the wall for today's live. You should. Let's see those toilet seats. They're beautiful. They actually have. Do you have a blue one and an orange one? Which reminds me, they're like Hojo's colors. Like they're totally Hojo's. So maybe you could put that in the title, Hojo. I'm so excited though. We sold the first toilet seat from that lot. We bought an orange one. Nice. It does feel like for those particular sour poopers that it's nice to know that someone cares about the color. It's not like you're just so debilitated that I just need it. It could be, it doesn't matter what color it is. This person's like, no, you know what's going to brighten my my duty in the shower is orange. And you know what my helper is going to enjoy? Wiping up the orange. Thank you. WTF is thanking us for providing them with multiple sales. You're welcome. Thank you. Trick or Treat does a lot of good mask. Well done, high quality. I have the fluffy crate monster one from Creepshow, the ape looking thing. Yes, they did a really good job on all those releases. So over the pandemic, during some of our buying frenzy, we bought a whole bunch. And then last year I finally I've got the Halloween 3. I've got Skull, glow-in-the-dark Skull, which is a Dawn Post skull, but it's latex. And I've got the Pumpkinhead. I've got Frosty the Snowman. I've got the Frankenstein, the awesome Frankenstein with the hard head, and it looks good. And I just found out also that you're supposed to, those collectors, and Paul probably knows this without fail, that what's so great about Trick or Treat Studios, if you're into mask collecting, I'm just into kind of wearing them and being goofy with them. But if you love to collect them and wear them, you take these super awesome sculpts that have really good paint, and then you pay somebody $100 and they turn them into like almost movie quality masks. And that's sort of what Trick or Treat Studio, you can wear them, but they're also a good price point that you can buy them and then send them off to somebody who paints them like super, super intricately and awesomely. So that's what I know from this last week of all this mask research. Very heavy into masks lately. I need to go out and find some more Dawn Post masks on people's front lawns. And I was just telling my darling sweetie Super Spam over here this morning when we got paid from that mask, and we were all doing and that's why selling masks is easy. See what we did there? And we were like cha-chinging each other around the house. You are so intricate and awesome. Oh, geez. What was I saying? So we got paid from the guy, and I was telling her, I'm so twisted. The very first thing I say is, hooray, we got paid for that mask that we paid $15 for. And to be honest with you, when we picked up this mask, they named the price. We took it. We didn't know anything that it was really worth anything. We weren't. Now we would know, but we didn't then last week. And they were also the house on the block that did the Halloween. They really dressed up for Halloween. The whole family partook and they did events. That house was also the childcare for the neighborhood. So a lot of fun happened at that house. And we just picked up the masks. But when we sold it and I got paid $900 for the $15 investment, I'm like, that dude still owes me a Guitar Hero 2 game. Game. Because when we went there, I bought 2 Guitar Hero guitars from him. And he said, the game comes with it. I can't find the game. I'll call you when we get the game. Anyway, I am releasing him from the contract of providing me the game, since we did get $900 from the $15 investment from your garage sale. But I just want you to know you're on my list, and I will be watching you. Thank you. No applause for that. Flipping ain't easy. You're playing along with the toilet seat thing is so epic. Well, he does. He is. He's. I can't think of it fast enough, but he's TTSG. I'm gonna put that here. Just because it's fun. And John is good. I mean, he's making a living on toilet seats. That's good. And congrats for sure on the sale of the first toilet seat out the door, the orange ones. So they sell. They do sell. Did you just keep bringing down the price, John? I mean, just systematically bringing down the price until it caught, right? I mean, and that's what you would do with those, I imagine. Paul Rose says something funny, but it's political, so I'm not going to address it. And it should be a different color. I mean, maybe if John does go out and get some gold spray paint, that might be something that could make those more, apropos. No, Depeche Mode. Is it a la mode? What's Depeche Mode mean? It's of the fashion, right? And a la mode means in fashion, and Depeche Mode means of the fashion, something. But anyway, it feels like it's time for gold toilet seats. Full time. Wait, Miss Lachey says, I don't think Auto Posture is just affiliated with Poshmark. You can, it lists across eBay, Mercari, Depop, and Posh. That's interesting. Another thing we got to check out now, sweetie. Yeah. It's endless. These things are coming out. And it's funny how not one of them's perfect. And that's really kind of what I suspect about TreeCat is they know all these other platforms, so they're really building one exactly the way they need it, built by eBay users. And I'm starting to suspect she sells women's undergarments on TreeCat. Have you ever watched her videos? She said she's got a lot of bras, yeah. Full-time, wait. I already read that one, sorry. We're thinking about getting into virtual assistants to help us get listings started, but it's a bit much to think about at the moment. Yeah, Doug and Ro, we really like the idea that somebody is gonna do all the work for us. Well, that's my favorite idea. Thank you. But what I really think is a way that AI should be working is this exact way. If I couldn't envision it any more perfect if it works, which is I put up all the pictures and then it writes 80% of the ad for me, of the listing, and then maybe you got to come back and be final evaluator, or so it's almost like hiring a teenager, somebody that doesn't totally know what they're doing, but kind of pretty much knows what they're doing. So then you end up with some errors and some missing things at the end, but that's your job, my job, being the manager. So we get the pictures up. The kid comes in, does like, the slipshod listing part. That's pretty good, but not perfect. And then I come in and do the final 20%, tighten it up, change a couple things around, and fire it and list it. If that's the way it works, I am super, super, super happy with that, because that means we can list 12,000 items with little interaction with them, or a significantly less interaction with them. VA, virtual assistants. Well, that's what virtual assistants do. I mean, you pay them 50 cents or whatever. They're real people, though, doing your ads for you. Or you send them pictures. It's really not an issue. It used to be an issue because you'd have to give them your login. What?
But what does HeyPro say? I had a VA in a previous business logging in from other countries.
Okay, so Spam is talking about a HeyFro's comment about, let's see if I can find it. Do you have a service in mind, Doug? Up higher.
Up. Stop. Down.
We have to keep.
Oh, wait, no.
We're just curious to try a VA just to be able to speak to the experience. However, we'd like to do so without crapping out our store. Yes, for sure. And we have to keep expenses to a minimum. Stop saying that. You're so annoying. I was talking to myself, by the way. I'm so annoying. I would break those toilet seats. Okay, I'm done with you. You sit there. We've got some good sales yesterday, Major Win says. But yes, about the VA, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know if it works any better than this. And currently for the first month is $50. That's a great deal. So anyway, I'm using it right now to see if it works. If I can I'm just testing it out on the records and the books. That's really what we need the help with. Although Nurse Flipper did it with like a cocktail shaker, and it knew what it was somehow. So it shows that there's definitely going to be some advancements in here. And I imagine over these next 6 months, while List Perfectly is keeping the price at $69, they're going to be extracting tons and tons of data from their users to get this AI really dialed in by the beginning of 2025. Wait, don't spam. Wait, Patricia says don't spam. I was serious. Patricia said she was serious about something. Oh, no. I think the remoting, the miking of her. Yeah, I would pull her up here. I mean, just so you know. She likes the difference. Cool lucite ashtrays with bottle caps and broken auto glass. Yes. Major Win. It's stressful being on deck. That's something we're grappling with right now. Behind every good man is a spam. Okay, I've got to see that, John. I didn't see the toilet seat. No, I did see the toilet seat. Yes, I did. Was that Friday night that we saw the picture of it? Did it have flowers on it? I can't remember. I should be quiet unless I know what I'm talking about. We got some good sales yesterday, and then our store renewal cost went through today, of course. And it raises your, it's like the percentage of your eBay costs are like 60% of your income for today only, though, usually. Orange, you glad it's not blue? 6x6, you silly devil. Major Win says, one thing that was a bit fascinating is that we surpassed our 1,000 free listings for our stores this last month. And as soon as we started paying 25 cents a listing, we made a good chunk of sales. Can you imagine? Don't let that be true. Don't let that be true. Major win. That's a whole nother. You just stumbled across another nightmare. Of potential nightmare.
I will say one thing.
Oh, she's coming here. This is important. Hold on, everybody.
No,
This is news now. Okay,
Carla, look at Pokey.
He's got his hands on my shoulder.
Sort of along the same lines, in one of the eBay groups I'm in, somebody said that they went from paying per listing to finally doing a store, and they said as soon as they signed up for the store, their sales died.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, Froze, what are we going to do? Let's get rid of our stores, everybody. Let's do it. We don't want stores. Right. We want to pay 25 cents. We want our comeuppance. eBay, we want to pay our... Come on. Who's going to do that? Who's going to be the sacrificial? Oh, dear. This isn't good. Hey Fro says, I had a VA once in a previous business. It was good. However, with eBay, I believe logging in from different countries could be a problem. Oh, I was just saying that. Yes, but now they've got that multiple sign-ins. So you can assign like a less than owner account to people. And I think that was for the VAs. But again, I don't think there's no reason to use a human VA if you can use an AI VA because they'll probably do a better job. I'm guessing. I mean, I have seen some of the crap that came out of 50 cents a listing VAs before, which made me never do it. Let's see. There's some people here. I want to see this AI in action, which we did. Oh, did you just say that with the live lister? I just did that. Did you not see that, Biff? Or, well, I didn't do a very good job.
You're behind.
Oh, right. Okay. No. What are you talking about? You're behind. Where's my thing that I need for you today?
Donnie, you're out of your element.
What? Let's see. Honestly, toilet seats make up a very small amount of our sales. On these seats, we have 10 orange and white creamsicles, we call those, and 50 teal and white. Oh, my goodness. We brought it down to $67 free shipping on these. Buy cost is $8. This is 10 timesers. That's a 10 timeser. Well, and then the shipping. So almost 10 times. Still a great price on that return. And if you've got them down to the price where people will buy them, then you're even better off. And I'd put Hojo in the title because you have orange and teal. Thank you. Yeah. I think a la mode means in fashion or it's the fashion or something. No, Depeche Mode means it's the fashion. I gotta look it up. What does a la mode? Mode is fashion, I think. Mean. This is our educational time of the show. It means in the most modern style or fashion. A la mode means in the most modern fashion. In fashion. So then Depeche Mode means... Are you trying to tell me nobody wants to know this? This is very important stuff.
No, I'm saying oh.
Oh, you're getting excited? You're like, yes, we know stuff. I didn't say. Meaning... French fashion magazine Depeche Mode, which means fashion update, or fashion news dispatch. So there you go. Educated right here. You can never say nobody taught you that because I'm a big teacher. Me and Silver Hair Stacker, teachers. And Kevin, Commonwealth Kevin. I couldn't teach a fly how to fly, to be honest with you, because I am so impatient. I'm like, fly! You're the fly. I'm just a dude. Boop, boop, boop. Ryan says, I have a Papa Emeritus from the band Ghost mask from Trick or Treat Studios. I repainted it and punched in eyebrows into the mask to make it more accurate. I've worn it the last 3 Halloweens. I don't know Ghost, but I'm assuming, is it some sort of a, like a, you know, we watch so many videos, and this one guy has been collecting masks for, his videos were at least 7 years old and even older, maybe about 10 years. And he starts out as a child collecting Halloween masks. And now he is obviously much older, to the point where he is completely tattooed, like up and down. He looks like Slipknot. He's like Slipknotty. And I'm wondering if the Ghost band Papa Emeritus from Ghost are they like Slipknotty? So like horror metal music?
Yes, they are
Satanic. Okay. So this kid was just a cute little kid collecting masks. And now he's got like the red, he's got like red blood dripping down his face, tattoos on his face of red blood. But he's into his thing. I mean, he's a very knowledgeable dude, and I enjoyed watching him. I wish I'd written down his eBay channel so I could tell you, so you could go watch it. But he's definitely into masks. He is a mask, essentially. Primo, I got everything for a fluffy display: wooden crates, stencils, masks, claws, and metal chains. Motion activated animatronic jumping body soundbox for 6 years ago. Still to put it together. Let's get going. Come on, Paul. Here's what I'm going to say. Wait, I got to get it like all. Here's what I'm all Martin Mull. Here's what I'm going to say. You need to use it or lose it, my friend. That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm not saying that. But maybe you don't want it. Maybe you don't want it and you want to sell it. Is it worth a lot sold? Just a thought. We've definitely faced that in my mid 50s here. All the projects that exist. We still have the ADH undone right here of that one piece of trim that's not painted white. And there's a lot of those things around the house. So then I start thinking about all these other things I want to do. And has anything in the past 10 years since I bought that thing that I was going to do, has anything changed that now it's not that important to do that thing? Maybe. Who's to say? What time is it? Is it time to go yet? We don't have to stay on for 2 hours, but I like to do that. I like to commit. We have to monitor to send today. That monitor. I didn't do the horse. So these horses, I don't know if you remember us talking about these, but the horses are really taken off. They're not worth a ton. But this lady who bought this horse was like, I've been looking at this forever. Please pack really well, and that makes us feel good because, this was sitting in someone's nowhere, and now someone's going to get it. I wouldn't buy these again because I didn't buy them in the first place. She bought them. $10 for 5 of them, and we've sold a $45 one, and this one was $32, and we have offers out on the other one, so I assume the Breyer horses will sell. Amy says, I just listed 2 1973 Hanna-Barbera masks, Scooby and Woody. And yes, I think those are probably Trick or Treat Studio masks. They had Hanna-Barbera, they don't have it anymore. There's a lot of it's all licensing. So they had Hanna-Barbera, and that's when I got Frosty the Snowman, I think. No, that came from Rankin Baskin. Is it Rankin Baskin? That came from their stuff, but they also did have, they lost their Universal license, right? Didn't they?
Oh, yes.
So they can't do Universal Monsters, but they gained the Don Post rights. So they can do all the Universal Monsters that were done by Don Post, which is kind of cool. Which is also, I'm not into licensing, but I'm learning more about it for my very important position as publicist for something. I have to figure out a new J-Lo carrot because J-Lo's just she's just wiped out. I can't think of somebody else because she struck me as just so awesome coming on the stage at 54 on at on Saturday Night Live and just being like, I was just bowled over by her presence, and then I started paying attention. WTF says they're going to treat themselves to a new toilet seat from John. I hope that's a true statement. John just got you another sale here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Nesbitt. Biff's got a hankering for some. Biff, you know what you don't have out there? Because all the Fosters, we have, this place is creamy crazy. Like the whole East Coast is just creamy crazy. So it's, because we've got Ben and Jerry's, and there's plenty of hard ice cream places to go to if you want to. But the creamy game out here in Vermont is pretty tough. We have like the whole, out there by the lake, this bay over here, Mallett's Bay, there's like a whole creamy belt. It's like 6 or 7 creamy places, and they're all a little different. And then we've got the one, where is that creamy place? Cook's Corner in Williston. Check this out if I can find their ad. Cook's Corner in Williston. What'd you do? What have you done? Oh, don't worry about dropping the iPad. It's fine. I want their commercial. Let's see. Is that it? Where's their commercial? It's a really good commercial if I can find it. Here it is. Okay, so we're gonna put you small.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. California breakfast sandwich, Hawaiian style French toast.
Broccoli cheddar quiche to go?
Best quiche on the planet.
I don't know if that
Mango, coconut,
did that go full
cashew,
screen?
almond granola. Ooh,
Oh, it didn't work. Okay.
Chef's Corner, making dreams come true since 1997.
Hippie Chris, Belgian chocolate mousse sundae.
Isn't retirement great?
It sure is.
Ooh, creamy. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
So that's Louise Guzman, who's a local Vermonter. And they're sitting in my friend's red Bentley right there. And that was Patrick Leahy and the other, who's the other guy? I forget. It was somebody famous, but I forget. Go Big. That's the awesome creamy joint. They can afford to make those kind of commercials. Although it was all free. People donated their time because it's such a good place. Anyway, what else do you want me to talk about? Let's talk about the state of the world. Nope. I don't care. All I care about is the state of eBay. I end and restart my store monthly. Lag says, Biff, we can do, you want to do a live? I'll do it on the members thing. So, because it's going to be tedious and boring. And I think that would be a good way to do it. So maybe even as early as tomorrow. I'd like to be able to report that I know how it works on Wednesday to the masses and really try to, the more people who use this compared to eBay's AI at this point, I feel like List Perfectly is way better. So if we can feed into that and have this product work, it works, it's going to benefit a lot of people. Am I right? Yeah, probably. Biff Boffo says, Biff Boffo can't wait to pay the 25 cents, $10,000 and 25-cent listings. If you have 40,000 items at 25 cents, that's some math I'm just going to trust them on. Thank you. Silver Hair Stacker says, I am Lala mode. I don't care about fashion. Well, everything is in fashion, Fashion is how we, silver, right? Doesn't silver come into fashion and go out of fashion from time to time? Or, it's worth buying and not worth buying sometimes, which would be perhaps fashion in and out of fashion. So does that mean that Depeche Mode and modern English are the same thing? No. Modern English is furniture polish, and Depeche Mode is ice cream. That's just how I do it. Hey Fro says Ghost is amazing. Band is a gimmicky vintage horror band with lead singer is basically a satanic pope. Is that even possible? Lots of religious aspects. However, the music is kind of poppy. They used to be harder rock. Yeah, that's exactly what I kind of pictured, just because of seeing this other guy loving his Slipknot so much. I mean, he turned himself into a Halloween. He is Halloween now. Yeah, Ben is moving out, Amy. How could he stay? She can't even keep a concert act together. She's probably just sitting there eating ding dongs and bonbons, letting herself go to heck. But I need to find somebody else that I put all of my worldly ambitions and hopes and dreams into, besides J-Lo. Like maybe Haley Joan Osborne. What's his name? Haley Joel Osborne. He's a short king, so I was thinking maybe him. I'm kind of built like a hobbit, but I want to not be what I am. I want to have my carrot be somebody awesome, but I don't want it to be a shiny guy. It needs to be just a athletic woman. That's what I want. That's once in a blue moon. Choose spam. Nice. Unfortunately, once in a blue moon, that's how I got to this condition to begin with. So it's not. Spam's favorite thing to do is to kick back with a 6-pack of Ben and Jerry's. I mean, how does it not affect her the same way?
I have high cholesterol.
I don't have high cholesterol. She does. But it is just, I mean, that's hereditary, but she's just always maintained a nice, healthy weight, and I eat 2 steaks in a sitting. Not to mention, yes, I was always kind of I've always been robust, but the pandemic was mostly cocktails, I would say, really pushed us over. Like, I think I gained 100 pounds on rum alone.
I gained 20.
And maybe you gained 20, but alcohol is not nothing to fool with. People think of alcohol, it's like it causes a lot of issues, but I don't think everybody thinks about the fact that when you look at somebody who is obese, I'm like really obese. I don't speak for all the obese people. It's hard to get there. Like, I had to eat a lot. It's a very expensive belly. And one of the shortcuts is a lot of cocktails. Not beer, like rum. Like 500 calorie rum drinks. And I need like 3 or 4 of them. So we don't do that anymore. It seems to help. Ornella multi. I don't know what those are words. Okay. So frozen custard. Yes. And Italian ice from heaven, Amy says. We have a mom and pop seasonal ice cream shop. I posted a video about it last night. I saw the thumbnail. I haven't watched the video yet. But you said it was like out in the middle of nowhere, right? And right in the middle of ruralness. We have a couple of cool things like that. I mean, it doesn't feel really rural here, but we are. I mean, 10 minutes out driving in any direction, you're in farmland for the most part. But we have, like, out in those farmlands, we have like the pizza place, is it Pie in the Sky? Well, it's like a red barn, and they just started making pizzas. And then you'll just come across these little places out in the middle of Vermont that have, I mean, they're basically just shooting a cow and making hamburgers. I mean, if that's a good thing, we have it here. Thank you. I used to have authority to make my own ice cream. Biff, have you tried the Cuisinart machine the best Cuisinart gadget we've ever bought, the best automatic ice cream maker that we've ever had. I think there might be a newer version of it that might be better because you do have to freeze the little. There might be one out now that you don't have to freeze the containers now, I think. But there's a Cuisinart soft serve machine. Oh, man, it does a great job. And you don't use soft serve. You just make your own soft serve. You don't have to use soft serve mix. But the one thing that it does that is just worth the $100 for the machine or whatever is you can, on Amazon, you buy Dole Whip, the powder crap, and it makes Dole Whips at your house like legit Disney Dole Whips. So for that reason, the Cuisinart. It's very difficult because you have those frozen tubs and it has to mix, and then it's a little too frozen. So, I mean, it's a little too cold. So if you keep the machine on, ice cream will eventually solidify. If you do, this is just a little tip from a former alcoholist. You put a little rum in your Dole Whip while it's in the machine. You have to kind of be really careful of the amount you put in, because if you put too much in, it'll stay watery. But you can put, I think you could put like about 4 ounces of rum into maybe like a liter of ice cream, and it would still work properly as soft serve. It wouldn't harden up though, not totally. I see Hey Froze. Is this, where are we? This is way back, I think. eBay's unreliability would also deter me from doing a VA. Oh yeah, that's way old. But eBay is really bonkers too. We've noticed a lot of errors, a lot of listing errors. She was even having them, which she never has, over the weekend. So that's there. Major Win is feeling like a frozen tub. Yes, Biff. Adam the Woo loves a Dole Whip. I mean, who doesn't love a Dole Whip? They're huge. They're a major tiki thing. So when was the first one you had, sweetie? Was it the first time you went to Disneyland? You probably never had one here.
No, never had one here.
So you have to. Back in the day, you had to go to Disney.
Hawaii. Probably Disney.
You went to Disney way before Hawaii. So it's one of those things where it kind of takes you back in time. It's one of those flavor sensations. Need a little extra horn today, you say, Major Wayne? Well, I would like to just say thank you to everybody who joins us. But thank you for some of you who really rise to the top, like Major Win and Roe, who really support this community all the way around, all the different shows. They add their stories and their expertise, and just you really have to appreciate that Major Win crew, because we appreciate them just endlessly, but just really kind of missing them a little bit. I'm feeling a little nostalgic for like a month ago when we saw them in the morning. And we have to really appreciate the people who put out their time. Not us. You have to appreciate us. But most people who put out their time on YouTube, you really have to appreciate all the effort. And everybody who watches us, I mean, that's we were watching Pete got off. Shoot. Pete got his channel back this weekend. We should have led with that. I think I wanted to, but I forgot. So Pete got his channel back for
Stay perky. High five for everybody.
So good for Pete for getting his channel back. I'm glad he did. And thank you, Superhero Statue. Thank you so much for the super chat. I did a double. That's not even legal in some countries.
Seriously, to everyone.
Everybody who joins us, I mean, I assume we do. I think, like a broken clock is right twice a day. Occasionally, we have a nugget. And we appreciate you coming here to try to find it through all the nonsense. Stop! What's happening, Ryan? Because Major Win is scared to look up ghosts. Thank you guys for starting off the month with some awesome blueies, as we like to call them, as we lovingly refer to them, blueies. And just thank you for everybody for always joining us and being here and making this community what it is. And it's not our community. We share it with a lot of people. And there's just so many good people in this community that offer even lag. There's people who don't talk, don't contribute, but we thank you too, because we wouldn't be doing this if you weren't there. I might be doing this if you weren't there. I might just sit there and talk to myself. Yeah, I do that anyway. I would still be doing it if you weren't there. But she wouldn't be, for sure. She doesn't waste her time. Lag says thanks, buddy. Yes. I just wanted to thank the people who don't join the chat all the time, and you're there. We feel you, and thank you for joining us. And I will let you know. She doesn't want me to let you know it, but I feel like if I say stuff, I have to make it happen. So she's like, you say stuff and then you never do it. Well, true. Point. Counterpoint is that eventually I do everything. Is that true? Yeah. Eventually I do everything. So when I was 12 years old, there's some wood. We're going to do it someday. When I was 12 years old, I sat there at the 7-Eleven in Menlo Park, California. And I was so skinny and small. I slipped in between the Berserk and the Donkey Kong. And I put my tiny little head around the corner and I watched some high schooler. He was playing it. I was turning right, taking a big bite off my Hostess cherry fruit pie. And I was watching, I was just getting so messed up on caffeine and who knows what. And this guy is playing it. He's like, all right, he's looking at me. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm making it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're a part of the same crew. And I'm like, I'm going to own that game someday. Fast forward 20 years. I had a whole stupid warehouse. Don't use the word stupid. Okay. I had a whole dumb warehouse full of them. Stacked on their sides, I had so many of them. So eventually, I do it. I do. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore. Point is, we are going to commit to making more better content I think we do a pretty good job on these lives, but we're going to reconstitute things a little bit in the fall. So right now, we're going to have our Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. And then maybe sometimes we won't always do one of the shows, but probably mostly the Friday one, even though it's tiki and people like it. Sometimes we just want to have that weekend off in order to get a lot done during the summer. But then come fall, expect sort of not a total relaunch, but like a much more content on the member side and more consistent, maybe even like videos, like not just lives. So pre-recorded videos. So anyway, I want to say that, so now I have to do it, even though I'll never look at this video again. But I'll remember I said it. And for that, we all rejoice. Thank you. Oh, there's Bunny. So, everybody, this is Bunny Rabbit number 2059er. We created him in a test tube. And he's the perfect little Bunny Rabbit munchkin. And I grit my teeth. I think I cracked one just now because he's so damn cute.
For Carla.
Oh, Carla, look at that little face. Seriously. Look how long his nose gets when he's all like, yes, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy, babe. Oh, there we are. Okay, guys, we will put on the Muppets now, and we will go, and we will see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all have some happy sales this week. Consider it. if you don't want to waste $50, I'm gonna look at List Perfectly and see if that comes out to be something, because I think it really has some promise, way more than I felt good about eBay ever doing AI. I feel good about this thing. So okay, he is not spoiled once in a blue moon. What's when you get like full spoiled? Like he's rotten. He's just like decrepit. His feet have never touched the ground, I'm telling you. Aloha to Paul and Lag, Carla, and Ryan and Patricia and Mr. April Sauce and Stella Stacker. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you on Wednesday. Aloha, and also
Stay perky.
see you guys later. Bye.